Good morning. Welcome back for another video. This morning, there's a buck right there. Not a buck, but a deer running right through the... Scared that up out of the brush. Didn't even realize it was there. This morning I'm out going to take an image of a place I've wanted to take a shot of the last couple of years. I've lived here. I drive by this place quite often and just never have taken a shot. I've always wanted to do it at peak fall color because I think it would be pretty nice. It's a little pond here in front of a house. Problem is, I missed all the color. There's no color left really to speak of, but I still wanted to try to at least capture a shot of it. So what we're going to do. We're going to use my Leica Q for this, and we're going to talk about why Leica. All right, so let's continue to walk here along the road till I get to where I need to be and set up, and we'll talk. Thanks for coming along. All right, so we're here early before sunrise. All right, and got my trusty Leica Q. Just going to take a couple images here. Nothing real fancy. Just wanted to grab a little bit of pink in the sky, although I don't think we're going to catch much of it here as the sun comes up behind me. Nothing fancy. I'm going to take a couple shots. I'll turn around here so you can see what I'm looking at. All right, nice little pond. If we were here at, peak color, I think it'll look pretty nice. But there's a little bit of reflection here. So we're going to see this first shot I'm taking on auto. All right, nothing fancy. Everything's auto. I wanted to see how it would look. All right. Now, next shot we're going to go a bit closer to the water. And I want to be careful here because this is really not, this is private property, and I'm at the end of their driveway. Here you can see there's their house there. And I want to be very respectful. Now, in the next shot, what I want to do is I want to take and do it like I would. Handheld, but I'm going to do it like I would shooting pretty much any other landscape scene. I'm going to turn this to, f8, f11, and I'm going to mess with the shutter speed. I'm going to go to ISO 100, and let it work. Because that last shot, was at 1.7. All right, and not that it really matters that much for what I'm shooting here. I'm not really trying to capture art. It's more of, location scouting and just trying to, capture something I wanted to capture. So we'll take, I'm going to set up like that. I put the camera down because I'm hand holding it, but I'll put the camera down, do that, make the adjustments, take the image, and get back with you. All right, so now set the ISO 100, and we're using f8. It's giving us a shutter speed of 0.8 seconds. All right, so let's see what we get. I don't know if that turned out very well or not. I'm gonna get down a little bit lower. All right, here, see what we get. .3 seconds there. Let's see, I can review it on the back of the screen. Sorry for all the bouncing around with the camera, but as you can see, it's hard to tell, but we'll see what comes out once we do some post-processing. All right. All right, so while we're over here, that little grassy area where the deer popped out of, I think I'll take a shot of that too, because looking back at the sun, it looks pretty nice over here. This is actually pretty incredible, to be honest. I think what I will do though is take my camera here and set it a little differently maybe for this shot, although from up here it doesn't look nearly as good, or at least from down in that spot. Of course, my car is in the way if I shoot. Here you can see what I'm looking at. See my car over there. Maybe I can crop it out. Sun coming up, there's some wires and things there. Not real impressed with the wires, but still want to try to capture this image. So let's see here. Let's leave it on auto ISO, or leave it on ISO 100. Let's change it just a little bit. See where we go to. That's not good. Let's see. Let's move this up a little. Oh, okay. Yeah, hold on here. Well, it's kind of hard to do both with one time, and I know this isn't great from a camera standpoint, so I'll stop here for a second and make my adjustments. All right, so I captured a couple images here of this area. I'm not really sure it'll turn out, but yeah, messed around a little bit with some settings to see what we could come up with. Don't know if it'll work, but we'll see. So now while we're standing here, let's talk about, why should you buy Leica? Truth of the matter is, it doesn't matter. You don't need to buy Leica. You don't need to buy anything special. You don't need to buy, buy what you can afford. I've said this probably 100 times. The reason why I bought Leica is because, one, it was, at least from a Leica standpoint, affordable. All right. And it was something I wanted to try. And I happened to find myself in a position where I could afford to spend a few $1,000s to buy a camera. But, this Leica, Leica that I'm holding, all right, this thing is 9 years old, all right, and it still costs more than my OM1 Mark II. All right, it doesn't have anywhere near the power, anywhere near the features. Now the sensor is a little bit bigger and it is full frame, but beyond that, there really isn't any difference. And I've watched a few videos on this lately, and I have to say I agree with some of what I've been seeing, and that is that that cameras today haven't really advanced much from where they were, at least sensor-wise and image-wise. When you get beyond all the crap that they try to sell us every day, that the cameras haven't gotten really any better. They're really pretty much the same, okay? They are what they are, Is that true? Is it not true? I don't know 100%. I'm not an expert, so I don't want to try to claim to be, all right? But I can tell you that, as I've said many times, the camera, really doesn't matter. It's just you get out there and shoot with what you have, whether it's an iPhone or anything else. You don't need to have a Leica. You don't need to have, a Hasselblad, to get the greatest images. The best images come from decent glass, all right, and you don't, use the tools you have and get out. Try to develop your style, try to develop, your understanding of how to use all the things in the exposure triangle, and how to use things from a composition standpoint. When you get into composition, a lot of people argue about this, and I've said this in other videos, I'll say it in this one again. Composition is, I always have a simple belief, shoot what looks good to you. Some of those things may turn out being spectacular, and some of them may turn out, being okay, but it's important as it needs to be for you, because the bulk of us aren't selling anything to anybody. We're posting them on social media. We're posting them, on a website or something like that. And we're not making money or much money off of it. We're just shooting things for ourselves. So shoot what looks good to you and see if you can develop your own style that might bring in a new rule of like the rule of thirds or something else. Just get out there and do it. The most important thing is just to get out and try to learn. Was it Stuart McGlennon? I think it was. I was watching. I think it was yesterday. And if I'll try to put the link in the description. Here he was talking about the most important thing in photography is use the 6 inches between your ears. All right, that's really the most important thing. It's not the camera. It's not really much of anything other than that, because the technology hasn't advanced enough in the last 10 years to really make a difference, especially when you're shooting landscapes. All right, improvements in dynamic range and things like that, yeah, they're nice, but they're so insignificant it really doesn't matter. A good landscape photographer knowing what they're doing, using the space between their ears, will be able to pull it off, and make great images. And Stuart makes some great images. He has his own gallery, and he makes money from selling images in was it the Lake District, I think it is, or in the UK. So he's somebody who should definitely know, somebody we can listen to, and he even talks about that. So I guess I'll end the video here, stop my rant, and just say thanks for coming along, everybody. Appreciate every subscriber, appreciate everybody putting up with me. But thanks for everything. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends. Try to help the channel grow. And just get outside and enjoy nice fresh air and enjoy the sunlight. Take some images. Get a few minutes of peace in your day. And just so thanks for coming along. Till we see you again. Stay safe.